Hi, I'm Dan Cortopassi of TSG Multimedia. Today I'm reviewing an HO scale C40-8M locomotive from Rapido trains. These units were produced in the early 1990s for Canadian National, Quebec North Shore and Labrador, and British Columbia Rail. Our unit represents one of the CN locomotives delivered in the CN North America paint scheme. I found photos of the real CN 2443, and the model looks to be a very close match. The real engine was still in service in 2017 on the CN. This model is part of Rapido's Prime Movers line, designed to be a little more value priced than some other Rapido offerings. As such, it is not quite as detailed as some other Rapido models. Rapido offers this locomotive in DCC-ready form and with LokSound DCC and sound installed. The MSRP for the DCC-ready version is $159.95. The MSRP for the DCC and sound version is $249.95. Our model is the DCC version. The black paint on the model is thin and opaque. The red and white are thicker and the separation lines are fuzzy in places. There's a noticeable difference in opacity on the white stripe between the part that's on the body and the part that's on the cabinet behind the cab. The yellow paint in the stepwells is also not as opaque and crisp as it could be, though with some weathering this wouldn't be too visible. The markings are crisp and the tiny writing is legible with magnification. Some of the small labels that appear in prototype photos are not on the model, but there is a decal sheet in the box that includes labels, reflector stripes, and other markings. Rapido has done a nice job capturing the shape of the Draper taper cowl body, designed to give the crew some additional rearward visibility. I especially like the see-through grills behind the cab and the intricate detail on the fireman's side. The vertical grabs on the cab sides are separately applied. There isn't too much detail under the sill, but the air reservoirs have freestanding plumbing. The model has Dofasco trucks just like the prototype, with separate brake lines. In front, the model has delicate, separately applied windshield wipers and freestanding grab irons. The cab has sunshades and side mirrors. The headlight, ditch lights, and number boards operate and are illuminated with LEDs. Slightly disappointing are the class lights, which are just painted on and not operational. The plow is close but not quite correct for CN 2443. The model has uncoupling levers but lacks MU and brake hoses. Many plastic handrails on HO scale diesels warp, and this model is no exception, though they are not too bad. The front handrails are noticeably thicker than the bent grab irons on the cab side of the stairwells. Detail in the back is on par with the front and includes the Canadian-style single-lens headlight, an MU stand, and spare knuckles on the pilot. Both ends of the model have metal knuckle couplers, and both couplers are low according to the Katy height gauge. I found a roof shot of the prototype engine and the model looks to be very close. The antennas and horn are in the right places. The radiator grills are molded on and lack the see-through effect that a photo-etched part would have, though they still look good. Underneath, the model has a feature that I haven't seen before, an openable hatch in the fuel tank. Inside is the LokSound decoder. Presumably in the DC version, this is where you'd install a decoder. All of the wheels pick up current and all 6 axles are powered. All of the wheels are in gauge according to the NMRA standards gauge. The model weighs 17.5 ounces. I measured 3.3 ounces of drawbar pull on my force gauge. I'm running the model on DCC. Runs very smooth. So now we'll take a look at the lights. I've noticed a slight discrepancy from the instructions that come with the model. It says that F14 turns on the number boards. However, at least on this one, they just seem to be on when the track power is on. The F0 key turns on the headlight, and this operates non-directionally, meaning that it stays on regardless of which direction the locomotive's traveling in. And F6 turns on the ditch lights, and the ditch lights do not flash. Now, interestingly, F12 dims the headlight and turns on the backup light. So this is the other end. Overall, this is a really nice model of an interesting Canadian locomotive. It runs well, has excellent pulling power, is mostly accurate, and has great sound. While I appreciate Rapido's efforts to produce a more value-priced model, this is still an expensive engine. At this price, I'd like to have better quality paint and real class lights. I'm going to take a spike for those things. I'm also taking a spike for the coupler height. My final verdict is 8 out of 10 spikes.